Hey everyone, welcome to Myopia Movies. This week we're talking about the movie The One. Now, I guess, unless you're me, you probably have not heard of this movie, but it is a multiverse movie starring Jet Li, and in honor of, well, Doctor Strange, of course, which came out this week, but also, of course, Spider-Man and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and every other somehow multiverse movie that's come out recently. I just thought it would be worth talking about a multiverse that isn't Marvel related. So, I hope you enjoy. It's a little kung fu action-y. It's a little silly. Okay, it's a lot silly. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy this show. And please rate, review, and share however you do so. Thanks, guys.
Bloodsport, we got to introduce while all singing Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Oh my god.
Do it.
I can't. You do it.
Yeah. One, two, three. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Miami Movies. This week we're letting bodies hit the floor. We have watched the Jet Li movie, The One.
The One.
The One.
Also known as the New Metal Time Cop.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel, I stole that from you. You're welcome.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm Nick Hoffman, Riffer on Cineprov and panelist here, and of course...
Norturnut.
Hello, this is Daniel, and I'm pretty sure there's no alternate universe counterparts to me, and it's probably for the better.
I'm Matthew W. Quinn, and buy enough of my books, I can afford time travel research to find the alternate version of Daniel.
You don't want to do that.
So we are talking about the Jet Li multiverse movie. We're doing this now because this will be the year of the multiverse, I think. Between Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. What's the movie out now?
Think about the bagel?
Everything, everyone, everything at all at once.
Something like that, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Which is a great movie.
It's just, for some reason, multiverse madness is going on. And if you're listening to this now, the Cineprov Patreon is ending this month. And one of the last movies we did was the original 1978 Doctor Strange movie, which was made for TV for CBS. It's disastrous. Although a young cleavagey Jessica Walter is in it. So there you have it.
Go on.
Go on. The male lead who becomes Doctor Strange looks like a 70s porn star with like a perm and like a cleft in his chin.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, it looks like. Anyway, so we are talking The One from, I believe, 2001.
Correct.
Which is one of Jet Li's first American movies that's in English, directed by, well, Kung Fu guy James Wong, who has done a lot of stuff. I don't know what to tell you.
Not the actor James Wong.
No,
that's James Hong I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, but he did the Final Destination movie, previous episode, which is excellent. The year before this, he did Black Christmas, Final Destination 3.
He did the Dragon Ball Evolution.
And he did
movie.
Dragon Ball, which is something that Evan has demanded that we do for years, so we might end up doing it.
I ain't trying to do that. Ugh.
I ain't trying to podcast that one.
No, it's just like, first of all, whitewash, but we ain't going to talk about that now.
So I'm just having a flashback here. You want us to do an episode on Dragon Ball Evolution and degrade ourselves? I don't think so.
Trick story. This is the podcast for it, Evan. You missed out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I will say...
Evan, homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that.
I will say, if we need a connection, though, we need a connection episode for Patreon here. He was a co-executive director and co-writer for the X-Files. Because remember, Final Destination was supposed to be an X-Files episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So if we need to do a crossover, it's that second X-Files movie, which is awful.
The one with Billy Connolly as the psychic?
The pedophile priest psychic, if I recall correctly.
Oh, boy.
And they're trying to sew human heads onto corpses.
Was
It's
that the one
thing.
that was, I don't know.
There's no aliens in it. It's the X-Files movie without aliens.
Okay, because the one I think that's the TV show I'm thinking of. The episode where the whole incest baby creature things in the basement.
Yes, Home. One of
Yeah.
the greatest episodes of a TV show ever. It's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
I remember I came over to Nick's once, and then he's like, "Hey, we can watch whatever you want." I'm like, "I want to watch Home," and Nick thought I was the weirdest person alive.
But again, probably my favorite drama of all time, and James Hong. You know, if you told me this was an X-Files episode, you could have done it really. But Mulder, there's several of you. One is trying to be better than the others.
One is trying to kill the others.
Scully, that's impossible. There's only one of me. Wink.
You know what? This would have been much better as an X-Files episode as opposed to a full-length feature movie. Because this is just the thinnest of premises, and it's 90 minutes, but it's already stretched so thin that
It's Jet Li versus Jet Li, man. How'd you not like that? As an action movie.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the premise, but they somehow make it so unexciting.
Well, I mean, but the problem
Why?
is there's no villain. And I know Jet Li's supposed to be his own villain, but like this dude wrote Squeeze, the one with Eugene Toombs. Like he can make an interesting villain. Like, and the idea that you're your own worst enemy, I get it. Well, is it Tolstoy said there's 4 kinds of stories: man versus man, man versus self, man versus God, and man versus nature? Well, you don't get much more man versus self than this nonsense.
The only person that can defeat Jet Li is Jet Li.
or Jackie Chan, or
Well, could you imagine if Jackie Chan showed up and just kicked both their asses?
Well,
With a ladder, like the warehouse scene, that could be so much Jackie Chan.
so I think they had beef back in China
Beijing
because
film, yeah.
was that it?
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
a
no, they
movie
did.
that they tried to spoof Jackie Chan being like this over dramatic like action movie and just being a pussy, whatever. And then
If you told me that Jackie Chan was the one with the sense of humor, I'd believe it, because Jet Li seems like if the key grip is off, he would get yelled at Christian Bale style.
Yeah.
Like that man would have ended him from across the room with a toothpick, like Deadshot in that fucking Daredevil movie.
Is Jet Li the assassin hero or the emperor?
He's the assassin.
yes.
Oh, because
James Hong is the emperor.
okay, because
And
they
they
both
actually-
seem to be the real intense, grim types.
and I hope if y'all seen this movie, actually I guess they squashed their beef. They actually did a movie together, Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Forbidden Kingdom?
The Forbidden Kingdom,
Which is a good movie.
which is a really good movie. Yeah.
And,
But
Matt Quinn just name checked one of my favorite movies of all time, Hero. If you've not seen Hero, the original Beijing action film, dude, it's a masterpiece.
When the Communist Party of China decides to make a martial arts movie,
It's beautiful. It's truly a masterpiece.
Now, one thing about this movie is it was a ripoff of the one.
Yeah, I got you.
It was a ripoff of The Matrix, which a whole bunch of action movies were doing back in the day.
Yeah.
But in this case, I mean, I don't think Jet Li was appropriately cast if all they wanted to do was gunplay, because there's still the whole bullet dodging scene in this movie.
True. Oh,
Could
yeah.
you imagine if Chow Yun-Fat was the one and he was fighting himself?
yeah, because Jet Li, he's playing this like interdimensional supervillain, but he seems very flat.
I mean, okay, so there's that scene where they're actually in the future, and they basically. So what the movie? I guess this plot synopsis. I guess so. Essentially, there's this guy, Jet Li's character. What is the main? There's like 123.
The villain is called Jew Law.
Drew Law. So basically, he's going around killing variants of himself in the different multiverse. And there is a scene where he actually gets captured after the beginning, like opening launch, which the two cops played by Jason Statham. Can I say? Oh my God, Jason Statham. Jason
Statham.
The
Jason
British guy
Statham.
who will kick your
The
ass.
British guy who kick your ass, and who was his other partner?
Delroy Lindo.
So basically, two guys that shouldn't have hair, basically capture him and goes to the future, and they're going through this montage of different variants of him. Where I'm feeling like, hey, Jet Li, Mr. Lee, can you just stand here and we're just gonna give you props and just act like you're a surfer, act like you're a monk. And it just, for me, that was the funniest part of the movie, because you just see Jet Li, who's generally like a serious guy, kind of like, have fun with pictures and such. But the premise is that he's going around killing variants so he become the one, which has all the powers, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, and whatever, harder, better, faster, stronger. He comes up, but the thing is, what he realizes is that when he kills one person, they all kind of absorb his abilities or knowledge.
I just realized it. This is Highlander.
You
Kill him and you take his power.
They haven't seen it, they could be only one. I will also say the other thing that this stinks of is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, because I'm pretty sure he's played himself, his twin, or a clone of himself at least 3 times, because he played the clone of himself in a movie called Replicant, which comes out the same year.
Double Team.
Double Impact.
Double Impact.
That's right. And of course, let's not forget, there's 2 of him in Time Cop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also one called Maximum Risk, which is even worse. So, the idea is that he will never work with anyone else. So this is just him, the only one who can beat me as Jet Li.
So
is another Jet Li.
There are so many goddamn plot holes in this movie because they never explain how this multiverse works.
No, he just appears.
No, it's just
First
there's
of
a
all-
multiverse. It is.
Well, I mean, why are there only 124 alternate universes?
That's a bit
How can there
arbitrary.
be a one? Because the universe is infinite, so wouldn't that mean that the multiverse is infinite?
Well, not necessarily if you consider the concept of time travel, because when you think of the multiverse within, I'm fucking going back to Back to the Future. No, first of all, Back to the Future is bullshit. For the longest time, I thought that was how time travel worked. But if you go back into the past, you're not changing the alternate of that past. You're making a different alternate reality of the. Can you explain time travel, Nick?
Yes. But also, I will say that...
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Now I've gone cross-eyed.
Well, literally, the people in my department just say, "Hey, ask Hoffman, he's the one who knows things."
Yeah.
But I will say, the thing I give Back to the Future is it explains its rules up front. Time travel movies are by nature nonsense. They are. Because time travel, obviously since we don't have it, you can make up your own rules here, right? But Back to the Future at least explains them. You're actually going into your own past, Marty. So if you mess anything up, it'll change the future. Fine. You've told me that. I have to believe it. As opposed to, say, Time Cop, where they're like, you can't touch yourself because the same matter can't occupy the same place. All right, that's stupid, but at least it's the one rule.
Here, Bill and Ted.
What's up?
With Bill and Ted, they actually they fucked up the past by stealing Abe, Napoleon. They still Hitler.
Well,
No,
They took them
Mongolian.
back.
Bill and
Could
Ted.
you imagine though if they took Hitler?
They should have.
Bill and Ted
And now
works
we
on a
can take
time
an arts
loop.
class with Adolf Hitler.
And they say, and the 2 French princesses are permanently removed from their
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
English, I thought they were.
Yeah, they were. Have y'all seen the second one? It's actually pretty good.
The second one,
You mean
sure.
the newest one?
The newest one of Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. There's.
Face Music, the third one.
Yeah, it's a cute, nice wraparound.
All right, now it's time for Art with Hitler. Look at all these hopping little trees. The trees are making me angry and angry. I will invade Poland.
Because that's what happened.
This isn't a time travel movie, though. It's an alternate
Yeah,
universe
you
travel.
go
they
side
jump
to
from
side,
one.
not backwards and forward.
Right.
We've gone too far.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I mean,
Owie, my brain.
this means, of course, we now have to do the movie timeline, which is the multiverse version that Nora was talking about, where there's actually different
Yeah, the-
universes.
yeah, the
it's
whole-
Paul Walker and
Yeah.
nonsense.
Isn't Jar
And then the novel, they explain how it works. In the movie, it's a time loop.
Well, and I will say, the book I've read, and I love Crichton, and we've talked about doing more Crichton because Crichton was like the biggest author on the planet before J.K. Rowling gave kids magic sticks. But
I feel a song coming on. You say magic stick.
oh, magic stick. But I will say,
Stick, magic stick.
other than Jurassic Park, which is a masterpiece, most of the other movies involved with him are just bad. I mean, I like the original Andromeda Strain, which he wrote the script and the book.
He did direct Westworld back in the
The
day.
TV show, yes.
Oh, no, not the TV show, the original movie in the
excuse me.
70s.
And he created ER, which is fine. But like Congo, previous episode, bad. Jurassic Park Lost World is also based on one of his books, bad. We did 13th Warrior.
Timeline.
That was
bad.
But
It was fine.
it was just out of place.
Which is out of place. They bought the script to Airframe, and then it's been in limbo for the last 30 years since that came out. And then everything after that was like, global warming's a hoax, so they stopped making his movies.
I remember that book, yeah.
Although apparently there's one on the Bone Wars, the dinosaur Bone Wars that came out. He was working on when he died called Dragon Teeth. I read the book; it's good, and that's been licensed by Spielberg. So we'll see if that comes out, but that might be okay. Otherwise,
Jurassic Park B-roll for the win.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, people in the 1800s blowing up each other's dino bones is pretty cool. Though I will say, Sphere, that's a stay tuned.
The book was great.
The book was great. The movie is just Dustin Hoffman and Queen Latifah and
Who's the woman bodybuilder in the movie?
Oh, there's a movie with Dustin Hoffman and Queen Latifah.
there is, and is it Sharon Stone? I think.
I'm pretty sure Sharon Stone is in that.
Oh, the money thing, the one where they robbing banks? No, that's not.
No,
the one.
Samuel L. Jackson is in it too.
What?
And Liev Schreiber, I think, is in it. And they're dealing with aliens underwater. I mean, spoiler.
Oh no, that is the movie. That's the that movie is the reason why I'm scared of jellyfish, because that Queen Latifah
Oh,
scene.
yes.
People
The jellyfish.
scene,
Oh,
that,
yes.
that came back to my mind. I was I remember I was very young, and I saw Queen Latifah get killed by a jellyfish.
She did. Yep.
And someone got sawed in half by a door. But
Yeah, that was Liev Schreiber.
that's the reason I have a phobia of jellyfish because of that movie.
That was a movie I saw, and I think I bought from like a bin at Blockbuster for $3, and then I've seen like 20 other times. And it's because it's like, wow, there's so many jellyfish. There's so many. Oh no,
Get the
jellyfish!
fuck
And
out.
they just
Oh my
fucking
God.
kill her.
So you know what movie doesn't have Queen Latifah or jellyfish in it? It's this movie right here, the one.
All right. So basically, what's the main?
More like the number
the
two.
two.
Am I right?
Am I-
Wow, hey.
Okay.
Even in the opening scene,
You drive a truck through that plot hole.
all right. So in the opening scene, this alternate reality, Hank played Hank from Breaking Bad, who plays Sergeant Siegel, played by Dean Norris. He's the big
Dean Norris,
guy. He's actually cool in this movie, and they're trying to escort a variant of Jet Li because he's a snitch or something like that. And then they get, I want to say, not bombarded, but not sabotaged.
We know this is an alternate universe because they reference President Gore.
That was, ain't that crazy? What if he was?
Yeah, and
Well, this is 2001. This came out 2 months before, or a month before 9/11.
I remember that. This was actually the first movie I saw in a van. Let me preference that more. A van that had a DVD.
So, this guy offered me candy and said, do you want to watch a cool movie? And I was like, sure. Turned out it was this and not Paycheck, which is what I wanted with Ben Affleck.
No, because the vans that had the DVD players, and I remember this is the first movie I saw that had a DVD player in it.
Those were the rich kids. The ones
Right?
that had the little DVD player and the little thing.
It wasn't my car. It was my white friend's car.
Trust me, I know exactly. When I was that age, my thing was Target, Best Buy, and Walmart had these little. They looked like clamshell things, and you could watch DVDs on it.
I remember
And they
those.
had like an 8-hour battery life. I'm like, super sweet. I'll watch all the Simpsons I want in the car, and you're just like, I am a loser.
Not back in the day, you weren't. That was
But
the most
this was
awesome
built
thing.
in. This is the one where you had to put the disc in the center dash.
That's
course.
right.
That's
Hell,
it.
Yeah.
hell to
This is
the
real-
yeah.
I
It
remember.
was,
I remember when I was learning to drive, and I ended up behind a one of those cars, and it was some
The Honda
kids.
Odysseys.
It was a kid watching SpongeBob SquarePants in the backseat. I'm just like, going, you fucking
You rich
asshole.
kid.
But here's the thing too.
My
Like,
car don't even have airbags.
but like that was the thing though, and also. I know Daniel and I have talked at length about Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and all that stuff, but like once the movie that was supposed to be big was no longer as big, you could just buy those movies for like 3 for $10.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you would just have like piles of nonsense DVDs.
Yeah.
And that's why you would watch National Treasure 30 times. That's why you'd watch the first of many Shreks.
Yes. There's like
and
5.
so
now.
yeah, and then they're trying to take him somewhere.
Yeah.
And then evil Jet Li, Jew Law, shows up and just brutalizes all the LAPD to the tune of let the bodies hit the
They
floor.
kill Hank. He's the first one to die.
Whoa!
Anyways,
Dying in Jet Li.
But
I'm
no,
gonna blow you up with some. Damn it! I can't do it. I was make a propane joke.
no.
Well, Mr. Lee, I sell propane and propane accessories.
The one thing that you referenced, Daniel, about being a ripoff of the Matrix, was like the whole stop motion shit they did.
The bullet time
The
stuff
bullet
that they're
time stuff,
doing.
where like basic bit like he's dodging bullets, but he's also like going so fast that he kicks people in the air. I don't know. You have to actually see the movie to understand what I'm talking about. But I mean, I don't know. But besides the Matrix, that was a pretty cool thing that they did.
There was a scene with Jet Li escaping and then running, and then the cops chasing him, and one of them says, "Oh my God, he's clocking over 50."
Well, but there's also a scene.
Cinematography.
So the scene we talked about at the top, where they're trying to break him out because he's arrested, and there's another Jet Li and yada yada yada. It's repeated exactly, but this time Jet Li's a cop.
Yes.
And they're chasing him down, and Jet Li, the bad Jet Li, scales the wall like he's fucking Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other Jet Li is also able to jump the wall. It just takes a little bit more struggling. And then the fat white cops are just like, let's get a donut.
And he's like, the good news is you're not crazy. The bad news is bam!
That's right. But I mean, my point being, he's gaining power. He's slowly becoming a superhero.
Now, how does that work?
They don't.
You know what?
So in the multiverse,
they do explain. They have Jet Li explain it in a not Jet Li. Jason Statham explain it in a Scottish accent, and it is so bad.
Okay, well, Statham is actually from North England, and he has a strong accent. He usually taps it down, but this he didn't care about.
No.
But now, and it's also funny to see him before he's a star, and also him and Delroy Lindo with hair.
They painted his hair, I think.
I think what it was is that whole hair to can thing that was big in this stuff.
The spray on toupee.
Because like he had hair, but it was probably wispy, and they like thickened it up. They gave it a little girth with some.
It's what LeBron James did in Space Jams.
Can we imagine LeBron James was in a Space Jam movie not even a year ago, and no one cares about it again?
He was? I've completely forgotten.
That
movie was absolutely...
There's actually a South Park does a spoof of it where there's like, fuck 2020. Like with 2020, we won't have to make Space Jams. They just kept hounding on Space Jams and stuff. But no, that was a thing. Space Jams with LeBron James happened.
It was garbage is what it was.
I mean, if you think about the little kids, like, I don't know, I want to say like Naomi's age, that's probably some shit that they absolutely love, if you think about it. Because growing up, the Michael Jordan one, that came out, in the 90s?
Yeah,
I was
96.
I was like 5 years old. I'm like, yo, Bugs Bunny, So, I mean...
Well, though, that's one of the things about this movie that doesn't work. It was supposed to be like a showcase of Jet Li. Now, Jet Li is a great performer. He is a great martial artist.
Yes.
He is not a good actor.
Yeah, because he makes his whole speech and he's going to get sent with a time-traveling electric chair to hell dimension.
Yeah.
And it's not impressive.
Right, exactly.
He tries. I mean, I think the movie that he was in prior to this was not Romeo's, but Lethal Weapon 4, the one with Chris Rock. Slap. And he didn't have he only spoke Mandarin in that movie. There was no English speaking role, but he's a good actor, physical actor, and stuff like that. Like there's I forget one of his previous like movies he did back in China. He's so quick, so fast that the cinematographer was like, "Yo, slow down." And I think this movie doesn't do us justice because there's so much CGI and so much animation or whatever to make like these the bullet time effects that I think if you actually just had Jet Li fight people just straight up, that would have been a more cooler movie than actually what we just got.
This really should have been like, if they wanted this to work, it should have really been like a face-off knockoff with Jet Li and Jackie Chan fighting each other.
Yeah.
That would have been one of the greatest movies ever made.
The whole we keep getting them confused with each other thing got so contrived real quick. Like, why are they wearing the same clothes? True. Or how does a dude from another planet know where his double's house is?
That's true. That's true. Well, no, he senses it. He feels it. He kind of, that's what
so they're mentally linked to each other.
So they could be mentally linked to each other because he gains more knowledge and stuff. They even have the same girl in each multiverse. Because the wife in when
in our world, there's an evil redhead counterpart breaks him out of jail.
Right,
in
with
other world.
Yo, speaking about when we talk about the songs, when she goes into his little execution room, and remember she had like her heel, there was like a mouse, and she like waved her little Bluetooth speaker thing, and the mouse came out, and right before and the mouse had this little antenna thing, which we later find out it's a bomb, but before it explodes. Do you know what song played? As soon as it exploded,
I saw it last night and I can't even remember.
It was that the song. The song was like, wah! I forgot what it was. Like
Down with the Sickness.
Down with the Sickness.
That's
and
right.
I'm just like, yo, this movie is crazy because like that was a hot song.
Yeah,
back then.
Yeah, back in the day, Daniel called Scorpion King the new metal Conan.
Yeah.
And so then I saw this movie. I'm like, this is the new metal Time Cop.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And although it's
Besides the stop motion,
just as bad as new metal, frankly.
Yeah. But
I like Godsmack.
Godsmack. I don't know. But no, so I actually continue the movie. So they actually both Jet Li's encounter each other. One gets shot, but luckily saved by his bulletproof vest. And then I guess he just tries to go home.
It confused me, like which Jet Li was which.
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, there's the one Jet Li that hides out in the attic.
The mannerisms you can call his great acting skills. One's very like this, and the other one's more soft-spoken. It was like, oh no, honey, oh Ollie, yeah, let me finish this, whatever. You know what I mean? So I guess by the acting and where the characters are placed, So yeah, but they end up going back into the hospital after he had the whole debacle because his wife, who I don't know if it's
she's a
good,
veterinarian.
She's a vet who knows some pretty good Mandarin. But I can't say anything. The actor who played Chun-Li commented on Ethan Hawke, who's in the new Moonlight series, saying that the person who did the dialect for his Mandarin should get fired. Oh, appreciate it. But yeah, so they go and he has to go through an MRI machine, and it's a pretty dramatic MRI pre-screening for an MRI. Which the nurse actually makes a comment about. I was like, yo, chill.
Well, because I think good Jet Li's just killed a whole bunch of people after that chase where they're both like climbing up a concrete wall that's got barbed wire on the top, and evil Jet Li escapes. The good one manages to get like halfway up but can't quite make it over.
Yeah. So he does.
And so he goes back home and his wife tells him that you've been shot, you got to go to the hospital, and he does, and they put him in an MRI machine, and that's when evil Jet Li shows up and people die.
Well,
they never show up on security cameras.
Nah. Well, if they did, it'd be the same person. But one thing you have to reference that comes back at the end of the movie, you have to if you talk about a Jet Li movie, you gotta talk about the fight scene. And when he says when he's about to go to the hospital, he does that whole little crane martial art. I don't know if it's the correct.
His little dojo in the attic.
Dojo, and he's like the way he moves. But it also you cut to evil Jet Li who's on top of the hospital doing these really aggressive air punches. But that comes back at the end of the movie because they actually do face off each other. But the MRI scene comes through, and evil Jet Li's about to kill good Jet Li, and then some trouble happens.
The space cops show up.
Space cops come.
I will also say something. The names are stupid, right?
How so?
Well, because bad Jet Li is U-Law.
U-Law. Yeah.
The good one is Gabe Law.
Yeah.
And the one that dies at the beginning is Lawless.
As in Lucy?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry, it's all stupid.
Man, where's Jude Law in this movie? That would be the best thing for him.
But again, what would be interesting too is obviously Delroy Lindo and Statham are fine, but it would be great if there was another martial artist fight. You know,
I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you. It's just
Jason Statham. He's an actual martial artist, and he gets his ass kicked. He doesn't do any flying kicks or anything. He's a loose cannon in this movie.
even if you had someone who's like a drunk brawler type who could throw a good right hook.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
But you don't get it because, and again, I have to follow the Wikipedia here because at some point you just have to lose track of this. It's so much stuff. But like,
does the Wikipedia explain how Evil Lee learned the process of becoming the One?
no.
The movie does explain that later.
Because he was an agent for the Time Cops.
The Multiverse Authority.
Right.
And then, I don't know, within his tenure, I don't know exactly what happens, but
He killed another version of himself and started realizing this is how he got power.
that's exactly. And then he got mad drunk with power.
He got a huge erection.
He got a huge Jet Li erection.
Doesn't that also? Well, I mean,
A
I'm not
law
sure.
erection.
Just literally.
Literally.
Doesn't that also mean they're
bigly.
like in the universe of this movie there'd be people in nursing homes with super strength?
But again,
That's a plot hole I found on the almighty TV tropes. Like, how do they not know what happens when a variant version of you dies? Because there's billions of people in one universe, and then you have another universe where there'd be variants, and I've gone cross-eyed.
But hold on. No. To that explanation, the only way he figured out that he can gain more power is that he accidentally killed a variant of himself. So to your point, if a Nor in a different the universe dies, that wasn't by the hand of me.
But there's still fewer Nors, so that means the remaining Nors get concentrated Nor power.
Right. But they were supposed to die because that's supposed to happen in the universe. By going into these multiverses, he's actually tampering with the timeline, which allows whatever the energy towards. Oh my God! Fuck.
no, but here, I would say the fundamental problem here is Time Cop already did this, but they luckily kept it to 2.
Right.
If you want to do this multiverse nonsense stuff, you need to take it from the other perspective. That's why I think the Loki show works, because it's all from the point of view of the TVA, right?
Yeah. The time
Like, that's much more interesting to me. Like, we have to fix these inconsistencies because yada yada yada, but this one guy is trying to break the system.
Yep.
That's more interesting than this nonsense where we're dealing with the same 2 Jet Lis that are different Jet Lis because they're the same Jet Li, because one wants to be the one. But you know what? But we don't get resolution because when the one dies, the other guy doesn't become Super Saiyan or nothing.
Well,
We don't know that.
We don't. But
We don't know that.
But neither of them die. Spoiler.
No.
But that would be interesting if one died and then the good guy the whole time gets this wink in his eye and then suddenly like glows with power. At least then there's a fucking ending.
Well, blame good Jet Li because he had him on the ropes. He could have got him, but decided to be a good person, despite the fact, spoiler alert, he killed his wife, shot her in the kidney.
Well, and then he goes to a universe at the end where his wife is still alive before they've met, and
Which I want to know, what universe is that? Is it in the future? Is it in the?
It's in L.A. where there's no smog and everyone is driving a tiny car.
That's what I'm saying.
I wish it was time travel instead of this multiverse stuff, because when it's multiverse, you have to explain so much more. At least if it's time travel, you can just be like, hey, I guess I didn't die.
Jason Statham's tried to explain it, but you're so lost in his accent that it dawned on me. I think that's the wrong consonant.
well, they try to
Yeah, but we crazy travel.
they try to
sorry.
they try to explain it by saying it's essentially transporting through a black hole.
Oh, I will say, at the same point though, my favorite stupid part of this, which is Jason Statham knows what's going on, right? He's the dude. If anyone should understand what's happening, it's him. They go to a gas station, but Delroy Lindo, just a gas station attendant, and he is so shocked. He loses all of his cool, he freaks out, and Delroy Lindo calls the cops on him. And you're just like, no, dude, you're the one who should get it. If anything, it should be the good Jet Li who's confused and wants to pull a gun on this guy. Right? You know what I mean? But
He
instead,
just goes with it, yeah.
but instead, it's just, he's like,
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
What?
like he thinks he's his Delroy Lindo.
which he's not, we know he's dead at that point, I believe.
Yeah, he's
got
dead.
the neck snapped.
Yeah.
Although why wouldn't the gas station attendant then be partly superhero?
But maybe he's just better at counting coins in the till. Like, it doesn't, it'd be great if they had different superpowers.
He knows when you have taken a penny, and by God, he's going to make sure you leave one.
Oh, but here, just to fix the scene Daniel's talking about. If he had another coworker, let's just say like a squirrely little DJ Qualls kind of white guy,
Right.
and this guy's about to drive off without paying, and then Delroy Lindo grabs him by the collar and lifts him the fuck up, And then the DJ Qual guys is like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? And he goes, I don't know. Just that one thing, you realize all of a sudden he's gained 30% more strength.
Right.
Because Delroy Lindo, if you guys don't know, I'm talking to you, I'm sorry, but he's one of the greatest character actors of the 90s and early 2000s. But he's this big, burly black guy. He always has that little goatee on him. And he looks like he's a brick shithouse.
Right.
But in this movie, he's playing a cop with a gun. No. He could punch you into next week.
He was great in Get Short.
Well, he does. He does beat on evil Jet Li for a bit at one point.
He does.
But that was sad. He died. No, he did die in that scene because like.
You felt an emotional connection with the character. Good for you.
No, not even that. It's just like he really tried to fight, and it's a great action scene. But like obviously, evil Jet Li has superhuman powers, so there was no match at all. But he tried to go toe to toe with him. You know,
Right.
So he tried.
And since we're here, Delroy Lindo, previous episode, he was in Gone in 60 Seconds, of course, that we did
Great
recently.
movie.
But he was in, most recently, I think, Defy Bloods, which
Oh,
was
all right.
great in. And, of course, the first thing I saw him in was in Malcolm X in 1992. Another fantastic movie.
Romeo Must Die, which is also a movie with Jet Li and him, was my first movie that I saw.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I was just also thinking Jet Li and Jason Statham in the movie. That's the Expendables right there.
That is.
And
Oh,
he's
God, I
also
like those.
in two very old episodes, which may be behind the Patreon wall right now, but he was in Congo and in Broken Arrow.
Oh, wasn't he the dictator in Congo that they have to bribe?
The customs official. Stop eating my sesame cake.
Yes, that dude.
And he's also in future episode, I can guarantee it, The Devil's Advocate. And he was in previous episode. He was the one who invented the impossible metals for the core.
Oh, yeah.
Unobtainium. He made unobtainium in the core.
They actually called it that.
They did call it unobtainium.
And in Avatar as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Because James Cameron is an original. But
Yeah, right.
didn't we do the core already?
Yes, previous episode. That was
That's
the previous
right.
episode. He's also in future episodes Sahara, which we just have to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did y'all like Sarah?
I saw it in college. Didn't know what was going on.
Here's the thing. I grew up reading those Clive Cussler books.
Right.
And so I saw it thinking, oh boy, a crime. It's a fine movie, but it's 2005 and it wants to be 1999's The Mummy real bad.
Yeah.
It also wants to be Indiana Jones real bad.
Yeah.
And so is it bad? No, it's just everything is misplaced, everything is mistimed. It's a mess. If someone cared about it, what's that fucking movie they're doing now with Tom Holland that was based on those video games?
Uncharted.
If it was that, if people cared about it like they care about Uncharted, it would have been great. But instead, it just feels kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it.
What's the name of the main character in that? Dirk Diggler?
Porn star Dirk Diggler. It's Dirk Pitt.
Dirk Pitt, I know.
Yeah, and again, I love Clive Cussler. I probably own like a dozen of his books, but not great. Not great.
Now,
Just- Again, it's an airport book. It's one you buy before you're on an airplane. They're 300 pages, and by the time you're done, you're like, America saved the day.
the movie that launched 10 years of lawsuits.
That's right. Rainn Wilson's in it too, so you know it's good.
It's a good movie. It's
It's fine. The problem is
good cinematography, good acting.
the problem is Clive Cussler, Michael Crichton, James Patterson, Tom Clancy. They made billions of dollars off of their books, and with a few exceptions, all of them that actually came to film just didn't transfer well. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of like these are page turners. Let's get Ron Howard to make 7 Dan Brown movies, and most of them are crap.
Previous episode, Patriot Games, was actually pretty good.
That one's good. Patriot Games is very good.
Hunt for Red
Hunt
October.
for Red October is good. They tried for 30 years to make a Rainbow Six movies, and that's just never.
And
gonna
that,
happen.
yeah.
Did they make a TV show?
It was a video game series for a while.
Very good video games. Anyway, we're talking about other things.
The one. Sorry. We were kind of jumping on.
Yeah, and all these various. I mentioned this earlier. They have all these contrived ways to have them in the same outfits, so people repeatedly confuse evil Jet Li and good Jet Li with each other.
True.
Which that is so lazy and simplistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way of describing this entire movie.
Like if
Lazy
I don't know. I mean, he's right, Matthew. If I was good Jet Li, I would say shave my head, just to know that I'm the good Jet Li.
Yeah, that's even better when you.
Right. But the only thing they have to distinguish is the ring.
Yeah, Chekhov's wedding mark.
His wedding mark. But no.
What they mean is a tan line of his wedding ring after he takes it off.
Yeah, wedding mark sounds nice and scary.
Yeah.
But I will say too, that's a really hard thing to notice when someone's punching you in the face.
And the Prince of Canada is putting his wedding mark on the princess. It is a good day for Canada, and therefore the world.
Anybody else remember that South Park episode?
Of course I do. Of course I do.
He's really having a go at it now. That's his tradition.
So Noor has just solved the entire movie plot hole. Good Jet Li shaves his head.
That's right there. Or just like, I don't know, just don't leave your buddy's side. I mean, the hospital scene really fucked it up for him, as you know, there was two of them and people got confused. But honestly,
none of the Time Cop guys, either evil Jet Li or Jason Statham or Delroy Lindo, show up on security cameras for some reason.
I mean, we can go ahead and say what the plot is. There's an evil Li. There's a good Jet Li. Evil Jet Li gets into good Jet Li's universe. Jason Statham gets there and explains to good Jet Li, okay, here's what's going on. And so good Jet Li fights evil Jet Li, especially after evil Jet Li kills his wife. And then
shot in the kidneys.
Evil Jet Li is defeated. That's this movie.
And he's sent to a prison planet where he has to fight everyone and has these really bad dialogue. I am no one's bitch.
I'm the one. I was like, come on.
You're my bitch, or something like that. His delivery in that last bit made me laugh in a bad way.
Welcome to prisonplanet.lee.
You got a purty mouth. Someone actually said that.
He did.
Well, Jet Li just had a big bowl of chili for lunch, so that's why he's a little slower than he usually is, folks.
What the fuck did he turn into Sling Blade, man?
If only.
I know what's wrong with it.
Liberals are taking over the government.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't
The
got no
globalist pedophiles like them French fried taters.
Hold on. Is there a distinguish between Alex Jones and Sling Blade?
No.
Well, you know what? Sling Blade has a better chance of seeing his kids ever again. So.
Sling Blade has an excuse for why he is like he is.
That's
Alex
true.
Jones doesn't.
He only wants to eat his neighbor's kids. Y'all forget that was
I will eat his ass.
That was the last. That was the last year. No, that was 2 years ago.
It was more recently than it should have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Evil Jet Li is coming for your children
I
and
believe-
hide your wife.
Yep. Oh,
But
God.
it's okay, because Good Jet Li had the bone broth this morning. You can get the bone broth on InfoWars, the store. We gotta sell the bone broth to keep the channel going, folks.
My vitality pills are going to give you an erection, the kind of which you wouldn't believe.
Sponsored by the Joe Rogan Podcast.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
Hit or miss. Sorry. Hey, we can all do good Alex Jones impressions. Yeah, we can,
All you have to do is sound like an angry white person.
Exactly.
A fat, angry white
see,
person.
We could do a Stallone. We could do an Alex Jones.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, we all met that Jet Li.
What the hell are you doing, Matt?
Maybe that Stallone if I had too much to drink.
Stallone. Yeah.
I have a feeling that Sylvester Stallone right here is an imposter, folks.
From another dimension. He's gonna kill our Sylvester Stallone to get his superpowers.
This is Stallone trying out for the, for my fair lady. The rain in Spain draws me beyond the plane.
By George, he's got it.
Why can't the women be like a man?
I like that. What
The
if
frogs did that first.
for some
They made
reason
him gay.
I want to see a movie where it's Driving Miss Daisy, but the Morgan Freeman character is played by Alex Jones, and Miss Daisy.
I have some opinions.
I actually...
Miss Daisy's. Who would we want Miss Daisy to be?
Well, it has to be a black woman, so it's awkward, right?
No, AOC. That's who that would
could you
be.
imagine?
Are you fucking? Oh no! I would want to see Octavia Spencer or Michelle Obama.
Oh, Michelle Obama. There you go.
Yes, I want.
How about
Gladys
Medea? How
Daisy
about
with Michelle?
How about
Medea?
Medea?
I want to have that conversation. I want to have an Alex Jones versus Medea.
Oh, what was that
She just
horrible movie
whooping.
for boomers? The one with where they were driving to the South and he was a jazz musician.
The Green Book.
Green Book.
Green Book. A Green Book with Alex Jones and like, oh, dude, and
Who would it be? Who would be the musician?
who would be the black musician?
Darius Rucker.
No, not Hootie, not Hootie, not Hootie.
Oh, not Hootie.
You gotta
George
say-
Clinton, someone who's chill as hell.
Snoop. I'd want
Oh,
Snoop.
there you
Yes.
go.
Yes, I want Alex Jones and Snoop Dogg remake.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, teach me how to eat a pizza.
Yeah.
How do you eat a pizza?
Teach me
man?
how to roll blood. You know, just like I would watch that.
Oh, you know what?
They
Though,
defeat-
Alex Jones' bun is made out of pizza. He's
Yeah.
rolling it up. And he's,
What do you mean you don't like black people?
It's like chill, coming out your mouth.
Now
feels
I
like there's-
understand you're telling me you've never eaten at KFC. That's okay because they're part of the globalist pedophile organization. What you need to do, and what I'm going to serve you, is the InfoWars fried chicken. It's fried in pig fat. It's not really chicken. It's some sort of soy product that's got testosterone all in it.
AKA Church's chicken.
And you'll be served by evil Jet Li.
I will take you to my favorite pizza place, Comet Pizza. Now, here's the thing. I said there was a pedophile ring, but only because it was so busy I couldn't get in the door. Now, I can walk right in and get myself a pie.
The one we got.
Wow.
That would actually, wow, that is the most evil and clever thing ever. You spread a rumor about a pizza shop, someone goes there anymore, is getting first in line.
That's right.
That's what's up.
Wow.
I believe it. I believe it.
Till the day closes down.
Oh boy.
Oh, God help me.
Um,
Anyway, so the one. I mean, the movie wraps up kind of, I don't want to say quickly, but it just...
It's a very short movie.
It ends.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna have to face off. That's the thing that.
They're going to take his face off.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God, they look the same. They look so bad. They look the same person. I would say to one of them. They have an ice cream cone.
Who's the one that directed the face off?
John Woo.
John Woo.
If John Woo directed this, that would have been a better
There would
movie.
have been like 30% more doves.
Yes, of course,
Okay.
because of the multiverse.
Would it be
I don't
30%
know.
better, though?
Yes,
I don't know.
I think so too. The action-wise, at least, some of the action because it relied too much on CGI. But I just want doves flying and like.
But I will say though, the problem is no one gives a shit about any of these characters. I love Jet Li, I do. But if you want to do a multiverse movie and you're the dude who works for the X-Files, how is there not an X-Files multiverse movie? That's right up their alley.
Yeah.
But here, the fact that there's a multiverse matters to almost no one.
Wasn't
Like,
there,
how are there not people terrified all the time?
wasn't there an episode of The Revival where it's like this ultra young Mulder and Scully meet the real Mulder and Scully?
But that's what I mean. Like, that's the kind of shit that should stick. But here, it doesn't matter. It's just kind of an annoyance that there's like a super agent here, and the rest of them have to deal with the fucker. You'd be like, holy hell, there's two of them all the time.
Well, they never seem to figure out there's two of them. Like when evil Jet Li shoots good Jet Li's wife, the cops all start shooting good Jet Li.
Right.
Like no one sees the two of them together at the same time. They're sort of like, what?
And how do they never get the scene where they're like, which one's the real one?
They
You
do
must
that.
kill us both to be sure.
They do that at the very end.
Yeah.
Chekhov's wedding ring.
Yes, but
Yeah.
they don't do it as dramatically as
Right,
you want. You
right.
really want the guy to go all out with his future gun that has the sight, but it's not a laser pointer. It's like a whole laser.
I don't know what that was.
It's stupid.
It's,
is what
it's,
it
it's
is,
like
Lord.
okay. We referenced this in the podcast we did before for Hudson Hawk, but Loaded Gun, the one with Samuel Jackson and Emilio Estevez. There's a scene where he gets a flash PTSD from like, him and Whoopi Goldberg. I want that standoff scene. Like shoot him, no, shoot him, no, shoot. Like I want that. But yeah,
But
you're
also, I mean, you also hit the nail on the head here too, which is that Statham playing it serious, Delroy playing it serious. We need someone who can be fucking funny.
that was Evil Jet Li.
But even that, it's just everyone is so taking this so seriously, man.
Yeah.
Even if there's a belligerent, like,
At least Ron's...
chief of police who's just like
No, because
At least Ron Silver in Time Cop knew the movie that he was in and was camping
he
it
ate
up.
all the scenery. Or another almost movie like this, Last Action Hero, where the chief of police literally starts yelling and he's not even saying words anymore. He's like,
well, no, I think when they make these movies, they think it's gonna be like the shit, you know, like groundbreaking technology, gently.
No,
Yeah,
and
just like that,
at least
you
they
know?
tried to have original story.
you can
Yeah.
have a lot of stuff.
It was like after all those 80s alternative bands got signed onto labels because Nevermind was big. In this case, it was The Matrix. The Matrix took a lot of inspiration from Hong Kong action movies. So they're like, okay, who's a
they
big
did,
Hong
right.
Kong action star?
But
Jet Li. Let's get him to make a movie.
Right.
But the thing all these ripoffs miss is The Matrix was trying to say something about who we actually are. They have and again, it took a while for the Wachowski sisters to say that it was about being trans, but even still, you knew it was about identity.
Yeah.
We do not know who we actually are, and you need to figure that out. And you might be someone else, but you need to figure. There's no story here. There's no message, and that's fine if it was an action movie. But there's a lot of talky talk for this being an action movie because they keep feeling the need to explain what's going on. And you know what they do in Time Cop? They don't explain shit. They just start kicking the hell out of each other in a mall, and then there's a raw dogging sex scene. And you know what? I get it. I understand Time Cop. This movie,
I'm here for it.
I'm here for him doing a naked split in his kitchen where he jumps up so that man electrocutes himself.
Yeah.
Because that's a movie that you have me, and Terry Silva is he is shitting out entire scenery because he's eaten it all. This movie needs someone like that.
Yeah.
Even Jet Li isn't having really any fun in this movie.
No.
He's trying his best, I guess, but
he got a heavy paycheck, if I'm not mistaken, because he had to play
I'm
double the role more screen
You're
time.
paying me for 3 people because he's also at the beginning in the cold
123.
open.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he got a good paycheck, but I mean, like in Time Cop, Jean-Claude Van Damme's having fun with the character, like with the whole kitchen split bit. We don't get the equivalent of that here. And again, Jet Li is a great performer. He is a terrific martial artist, but none of that's really showcased here.
No.
Well, and again, he plays a good straight man. Then have someone else be funny. We need more of that. We need more banter. And again, what I kept thinking is the other movie they saw was Pulp Fiction, because in the car, Delroy Lindo and Jason Statham are just they're jabbing at each other, and that was supposed to be funny. But there's no witty banter there either. They're just jibber jabber. You know what I mean?
Well, because in Pulp Fiction, it mattered what the characters were saying, and it helped introduce everyone to them. Like
The
John Travolta.
royalty.
Yeah, like John Travolta being away for a while, and then Samuel L. Jackson being the guy who's clearly his friend. Here, it doesn't matter at all.
But they could do the same kind of thing. They could be talking about, well, we're in a different universe now. These cars suck. And they get just talking about the difference between their that would have been
Everything
something.
they got the same shit in this universe they got in our universe, but over here it's a little different.
Expository chit chat.
But then at least I'm invested in these characters. When Delroy Lindo gets shot, I'm like, well, he's an actor I like, and that sucks. But otherwise, who cares?
The one thing I really wish they did in this movie, they only have, obviously it was 2001. They when they're in the future, technically they're only in like 2 different rooms. I would have liked to see more of the future scenes and the shit they had to do within the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
because at the end, spoilers, like
Hey,
when-
look, a sport almanac.
What was that? The future? I thought that was just another parallel universe.
It's a parallel. There's
Wasn't
the time authority, multiverse,
Where
whatever
Al
the hell
Gore
it's called.
becomes president.
Yeah.
Electric cars.
Headquarters universe. Then there's the hell dimension they send people to. And
who are they to have a hell dimension?
But
Where's the
you
hell?
know what would be funny too? If you wanted to do this, and you wanted to do it right, hire different directors. If literally it was the Evil Dead universe at the end, that would be funny. If literally you cracked out Zemeckis and he made it Back to the Future 1985 future, that's a joke. Like, it just, all of this feels like Cliff Note versions of real jokes. which is a shame because you tell me there's two Jet Lis fighting each other, I'm there like shareware, baby.
That's
but
true.
It just
Shareware, that's a term I haven't heard in a long time.
I just nod when he says things.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's what we all do, Nora.
Okay.
I'm the Flavor Flav of nonsense.
I know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
that's
So in
really
other
good.
words, you're Flava
That's
Flav.
right.
I would only know that because of his reality TV show where he got paid to
I
fuck
have a
30
big
women.
clock.
Yeah. His
Final
18
thoughts, Jeanette.
This was the first movie I saw in the van. So as at 2001, I was a kid. I liked the action scenes. You know, just but as I watch it now as an adult, it's a little too much. I don't like it because I know Jet Li movies, and this is not my favorite Jet Li movie. You know, definitely The Forbidden Kingdom, as we mentioned, and all of his other classic movies that he's done. Oh, what was the one that he was enslaved? It had the Beast or something. I forgot what it was. The Cage, the guy who played in the Super Mario Brothers movie, the live action Super Mario. What was the actor's name? If y'all remember?
Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo.
There's actually a really good movie where like Jet Li is like enslaved. I think it's called Come Back to Me. I'll try to find the movie, but I do recommend that movie. But as far as like an action movie, I guess it was cool when I was younger, but seeing it now and knowing that it ripped the Matrix, so like I mean this is the shit I'll play in the background on mute while I'm like working on something else, you know, just for cool scenery.
Yeah.
All right, so I think a lot of younger people these days don't understand exactly what The Matrix did, which has inspired so many ripoffs, and this is one of them. Go watch the first Matrix movie if you're interested in the sort of action scenes that this is displaying. The plot is real flimsy and full of so many holes you can drive a Mack truck through them. This really isn't that good. It's really not. I like Jet Li. I wish I could say it was better, but I can't.
I like the concept. I like the whole multiverse alternate reality thing, but Jet Li's delivery is kind of flat. The plot line, they get confused each other, so contrived, and I don't know how a movie with so many fight scenes can be so unexciting. Just let us mourn the tragedy of what could have been.
I agree everything with Matt said. The problem for me is they didn't know what movie they were making. If it was a sci-fi movie, spend time on the sci-fi. If it's an action movie, spend time on the action. Unfortunately, they spend too much time on both, and so it just feels like it doesn't have a focus. To Nora's point, I think the first Jet Li movie he may have seen, I may have shown him, because I used to show the movie Hero when I was teaching.
I think I found it. It's on. Is it Unleashed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the movie Unleashed.
Oh yeah,
So
Unleashed is good.
Yeah, Unleashed. It has
Morgan Freeman and Bob Hoskins. And
good
that-
movie. Good,
that-
it's a good displaying of action, but also, like again, he doesn't speak, barely speaks in this role, but the way he portrays a man that is, I guess, psychologically abused, literally is in a cage not supposed to fight. Great movie by Jet Li. Compared to the one, it's dog shit.
I mean, anyway.
Sorry.
No, please. Watch Hero. Hero's a masterpiece. And again, I used to show it in school every year when I used to teach world history.
Right.
It's incredible, and it's one of those movies I showed my wife, and now whenever she sees, other things, even the Shang-Chi last year, they're like, oh, they just ripped off Hero. I'm like, yeah, because the man is like a physical being in a way we just don't have very often in America, because like Jackie Chan, he doesn't need special effects to be incredible.
Yeah.
Like Wesley Snipes, he's that kind of a physical being. And so sometimes he just has to slow it down because he's so fucking fast.
Right.
This movie, to me, is a dartboard movie wherein people had a bunch of ideas. They just threw darts at them, and everything that the darts hit was in the movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it bad. Actually, to me, this is like a perfect, it's afternoon, it's on TV, it's not going to hurt you. Just throw it on. Because trust me, everything that they make seems important, like expository dialogue, fucking doesn't matter. Just skip it.
No, you don't need all the, even the Matrix. Like Daniel said, the Matrix is the Matrix, but like Compare Ip Man. Donnie
Yeah.
Yen's Ip Man. Nothing, no special effects. He literally fought like 10 people at once. You know, it's just that good. Just that good.
Dude, we did Enter the Dragon this year. Same thing. It's just like the dude can kick your ass. We get it. Let's watch the movie. The thing here, there's just too much talky talk. Doesn't make it bad, just makes it misplaced. But we are out of time, so I would like to thank everyone listening. Thank you for sharing, reporting on us. Wait, that sounds bad. Reviewing us, the write-ups we've gotten, the podcast accolades we've gotten. At the end of this year, I will post all the nations that we hit the charts on. At this point, I believe we're up to 12 different countries we charted in. And that's because of you. So thanks for what you do, because we like doing this. But we continue to do it because there's someone out there listening to us. Otherwise, we would just watch the movies and hang out. So we appreciate everything you've done as we look at pictures of us that my daughter drew for us.
I'm a potato.
I'm a heart-shaped slice of pie, so we're there.
Daniel
looks like
is scary.
the cat from Alice in Wonderland. That's
Yeah,
what it looks like.
Basically.
Yeah.
Cheshire Sudsy.
Yeah.
Well, he does have a cat. It works.
Thank you, guys.
Myopia Movies is produced by Nick Hoffman and Daniel Settis. It is hosted by Nick Hoffman and Daniel Settis. Mission Briefing is hosted by John Copsey. Podcasts are edited by Daniel Settis, and Patreon is edited by Nick Hoffman. Our engineer is Nick Hoffman. The theme song is Surf Shimmy by Kevin MacLeod from Incomptech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license.